Hello and welcome. First things first, check out this awesome custom vinyl I did. Is it black flames on a white car or white flames on a black car? Pretty cool. I used all vinyls to make this, all 50 vinyls. And coming up in update 10.8 with the Halloween vinyl package, you could make something like this. I'll have a link at the end of this video to a series I did that shows you how. So this is the Renault RS01, and I didn't know this race was possible in this car. And since this is one of the cars in online multiplayer, and it's a pretty good car, I figured, why don't we do a feature on this one? While you're here, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe, press the bell, hit the little thumb, and if you leave a comment or if you got a question, just go ahead and I'll try to answer them. This is a pretty good car, actually. Mine's fully upgraded, and we'll get into that in a bit as far as costs and race location. It's really the same formula that I do for any other car on this particular track. There's two cuts we take. This is the second one, and then there's the first cut. Now, let's get to this car, because for a car like this, it's surprising how much the car costs or doesn't cost. So let's just bring up a few screens here. This is from the Wiki Fandom page. 2.1 million R dollars. You don't have to have gold to buy this car, but there's the full upgrade costs. Obviously you need gold for that. But then look at the exclusive series payout. That's actually pretty good for a car like this. And there you go. That's what it costs to get you all the way up there. And you can see the stats on the car there on when I brought down the full upgrade information there. And I'll have a link to the exclusive series page on the Wiki Fandom, on the Real Racing 3 Fandom page, so you can see more about that. Fabulous website, well worth your while to check it out. And we're going to be skipping ahead. I'm actually, because of the first place guy I'm facing is pretty far up there. He's over 70 kilometers, so I'm going to have to take this to 100 kilometers. Hopefully I can make it. We'll find out. I'll let you know. But we're not going to do a non-stop race, because that would take a long time. I'll be skipping parts. So we'll actually probably going to warp ahead here in a bit. Right now the bots are pretty slow, but you'll see once I warp ahead here. At the end of this lap, I'll skip ahead several laps, and you'll see that it gets a lot more difficult. So that was the beginning of lap 3, and here we are at lap 9. And you can see my time's actually starting to get low. So this is a little bit harder. Definitely harder than I recently did the Koenigsegg 1-to-1 here. That was quite easy. I also did the Volkswagen IDR. That's almost ridiculous, actually, at this track. It's such a riot in that car. At the end of this video, I'm going to also have a playlist link to it's a link to a pile of endless endurance types of races you can do, which is what this is. And here we go. Here's the perpetual point. So this is what happens after you pass 42 cars. You see how the bots are suddenly super close when they were all spread apart? And you know what? They're going to get a lot closer. It's going to blow your mind how close the bots actually can get here. It's pretty surprising. But now, we'll go another lap, because I'm still, my timer's pretty low. That's uncomfortable for me. And we'll get 18 seconds, and so that boosts us up a bit. But you just watch. Here's the first cut. Not a lot of braking actually goes on this track. We've got to be careful there. Got to avoid contact. So there's a short braking point here, pretty short. You want to be on the brakes early so you can be on the gas early. On the left, when the curve starts to end, I'm on the brakes again. And then still watching the curb on my left. When that ends, I'm on the brakes again, then full throttle. Then coming up here, you really don't want to brake if you don't have to for this cut. If you don't get it right, though, you can end up spending too much time off track. But, ooh, that's a scrape. Getting back into traffic starts to get tricky, and we got to be careful here. Oh, a little squirrely. It's not bad. And yeah, and then kind of like rinse and repeat. And we're going to warp ahead a few other times here, but let's see here. I think let's do one more consecutive lap so I can show you my first braking point. So you want to watch on your right-hand side. There's a large piece of equipment. It's got like a big, right there, big overhead boom, it's a crane. That's my braking point. And then you got to watch those throttle points. It's pretty much what you see here. So here I'm on the brakes for just a little. And then, yeah, then we've already gone through this. And you just keep doing that. You really don't want to take on any damage. It's just going to hurt your earnings. So we're going to warp ahead here right away. I'll make sure it's easy to see I'm warping. Woo, whoosh. So we're here at the 50 kilometers now, just over that point. Now watch how much closer the bots are. This starts to get ridiculous. So obviously getting back in the traffic gets risky because you can get T-boned there. Now check this out. Let's have a drag race. Let's see if I can get him. I don't think I'm going to get him. Trying. Yeah, he was taking a wider path. I thought I'd get him. At this point, every bot is faster than a fully upgraded car. Just look at that. I was pulling up on him. Now he's pulling away, and I have no damage. So that's what happens after the perpetual point, or the 40-second car. Perpetual meaning continual. Every car is faster than a fully upgraded car, yet they don't brake as good. They don't take the corners as good as we do. So there are some endless endurance races that you don't have to take any cuts for. But like there we go, right there, I didn't have to take a cut. He just didn't brake very well. Same with right here. Sometimes I could get a bot. Oh, I didn't get into that braking point very well. But just look at all those Renaults. I think some people say Renault, but I think the proper way to say it is Renault. I don't think you actually say the last letters. I should really have looked into that ahead of time, but pretty sure I'm right on that one. And then we're going to zoom along here. So we'll warp ahead in a bit again because the bots get even closer together. It gets kind of crazy. It gets to the point where it's really difficult to get back into traffic without taking on damage. And you can get away with side contact. It's front contact you really don't want to take. So I do end up tagging a couple of guys lightly with my front end. Thankfully, it's light enough that it didn't matter. Inconsequential. But, woo! Gotta be careful. I didn't want to hit that guy. Boy, that sun's blaring. Actually looks pretty bright. I love the scenery. They've really done some cool things with scenery here. Right here, it's interesting how awful those bots take that. All right, let's warp ahead some more here. We'll warp ahead to about the 70-kilometer point. Yep, there's the first place bot I had to beat. You have to get first place. A lot of people don't realize it. The game pays you less for second place than first and less for third than second. So if you're going to do something like this, you make sure you get first place. Even if you have to enter while you're offline, or you might have to enter and exit the race several times to get lower targets. I did not hire the agent or the manager. Please bear that in mind. So I could certainly be earning more, but I want to get you the base numbers for easy comparables. And yeah, this is going along pretty smooth. We're going to warp ahead again here pretty quick. Oh, I thought maybe I could have taken that guy, but I didn't want to risk it. Now, this is interesting how I can gain on him, see? Now I'm going to do an inside pass. Man, he really got on the brakes. That's interesting. Yeah, let's warp ahead here to close to where I'm going to finish the race. Ooh, I thought I was going to tag him almost. All right, warping ahead again. So we're going to 100. I'm going to stop right at 100 kilometers, meaning I'll actually just do a freeze frame. And then, oh, check how close these guys are. Boy, it's touchy. You can see my back end. Look at that. I got T-boned a bit, but thankfully they only clipped my back end. Doesn't it look weird? My back end's all crooked. But it doesn't affect my performance at all. In real life, it sure would. You can stay pinned through this last corner, which is awesome. Yeah, I really like driving this car. It's definitely one of my favorite vinyl designs that I ever did. But yeah, it also is a really nice handling car. I like the taillights. I like everything about this car. It's pretty cool. And so yes, after I reach the 100-kilometer mark, I do a freeze frame because that's how you get really accurate frame per minute. I count the green light as my start point and my freeze point as the end. Then I obviously drive a little bit past 100 kilometers, but then I turn around, drive the wrong direction back to 100 kilometers. So that's how you give back distance. So I'm going to end it perfectly at 100. I actually thought I was hitting 100 there, so I was going to brake, and I realized, oops, I'm a little bit too early. I better keep going for a while here. Right away, though, we're going to come across that freeze frame, and then we will talk about profitability, because that's what matters, is what is the actual fame per minute. There you go, 100 kilometers, piles of damage. Lots of friends bonus, and that's pretty good fame pace. So there you go, 26 minutes and 39 seconds. It works out to 837.5 fame per minute. That's pretty good. Obviously, you could double those numbers up. Please like and subscribe, like I said. Thank you so much for joining me today, and check out some other videos.